I love crafting with clothespins. Hey there, this is Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. If you want to craft your best life with me, then let's get started right now. For this clothespin DIY hack, I'm just going to take a round bamboo ring. You could actually use a wreath form, whatever you want that's round, as long as it will fit a clothespin on it. The metal fish decor and some sand dollars and starfish and a seashell, all from Dollar Tree, and then nautical rope, that's the white color. I've also got some seashells from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use plaster and peacock Waverly chalk paint. Now I'm going to take each of, these are the larger clothespins, by the way. I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them all the way around the ring. And I didn't finish it because I want to leave a spot for the fish. You could go all the way around, but it's easier to attach the fish if you don't. I'm going to take the peacock paint. I'm going to paint all over except for the back of these clothespins. And you could use any size clothespins you want. I just happened to have some big ones I wanted to use. I decided to go with the silverfish instead because I actually think it looks better. I'm just going to hot glue down the little hanger because we don't need that. I'm going to cut a couple pieces of twine. I'm going to hot glue them to the inside of the fish in the center. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a moment. And then I will be able to tie it on to this wreath. I wanted to have a nice way to secure it, and I'm also going to put some tape over that twine to hold it in place even more so. Now I'm going to turn the wreath over and I'm going to position the fish right where I want it, and then I will pull that twine through and tie it in the back in a knot and then trim off the edges. And that's just going to hold this very nicely in place for us. You could also use pipe cleaners if you want. I just didn't have them right on my craft table and I had this twine, so I just grabbed it. But anything that would work would be just fine. And then I'm going to add some hot glue over the knots because I just like to do a little extra security there to make sure it stays in place. Now I'm going to add a hanger while I'm here. Now I'm going to take this 3-cord nautical rope and I'm going to make it a 2-cord rope. It was just a little too thick. So there you go. I'm going to hot glue the ends so that they don't fray and it's just a little easier to work with. I'm going to start at one end and I'm going to do like swirls up and down, kind of like every other clothespin. You'll see just here in a moment how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that all the way around till I get to the other side of the fish. I love the way that looks, so nautical, so coastal. I'm just going to attach the end, tuck it under the clothespin. Now I'm going to take the little starfish and I'm going to add some hot glue and I'm just going to put that on that kind of bottom right area next to the fish there. And I'm just looking at where it's going to touch, and that's where I put the glue. Otherwise, there's no putting extra glue. And then I'm going to add seashells kind of in those little loops, but like alternating up and down, except for the one seashell that's longer. And I think this turned out gorgeous. What an easy, beautiful coastal wreath. How fun is this using clothespins? Let me know what you think. For this Dollar Tree clothespin DIY hack, this is just the littler clothespins, and I'm going to be creating a little planter box. So I figured out a rectangle shape and then the longer side and the shorter side. And what I'm going to do is just literally hot glue these clothespins together side by side like this. Now you could glue them together without the metal piece, but I didn't mind having the metal. I didn't think it really mattered, and it went a lot faster if I left the metal on there. So you can do it any way you want. Honestly, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So I'm going to glue all these sections together. And then I'm going to go back over and kind of reinforce on the inside by adding some more hot glue. And I'll do that with all of these. So now I'm going to take the sides and attach them together. So you see I've got the long side and the short side. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to do the same thing with the other two pieces and create my little rectangular planter. Very easy to do. Now I am going to go on the inside with my hot glue and reinforce the seams on the inside where I attach each of the pieces together. I thought that wouldn't be such a bad idea, and you won't see it anyway. Now I'm going to take some cardboard and I'm going to trace the inside shape. I'm going to cut it a little bigger than that because I want to have a bottom for this. And I'm going to trim it so you won't see it, but that it will fit perfectly on the underneath portion. So there it's still a little too big and I'm going to trim it down. And this is very easy to do. Once I have the size I want, I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue all along the bottom there. And then I'm just going to put that piece of cardboard right on that. Then I'm going to take my plaster chalk paint by Waverly and I'm going to paint the whole thing. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it could look distressed, but I just wanted to give it a nice kind of worn fence look. And there it is. Now I'm going to get some flowers. I'm just going to kind of trim them. I didn't even need to put foam in there. They just fit in really nice and snug. But I did think it was missing something. So I took some twine and I did 2 rows around the outside just to give it kind of like a finished fence look, like as if there was a post going around, the top portion and then the bottom portion. And I think that was just the right finishing touch for this one. Once I have both of those glued on, I'll just snip the edge off, and that's it. This was so cute and easy. I can really imagine this one on like a little tiered tray or a shelf. I just think it's super cute. You could change out the flowers for different seasons, and that way it'd be very versatile. Let me know what you think. For this Dollar Tree clothespin DIY hack, I am going to make something. I didn't use those flowers, by the way, but I did use the fairy lights, and I'm going to take my plaster chalk paint and I am going to use 10 of the little clothespins. I'm going to form them into kind of like a circle in the middle and then hot glue all the way around, and that actually worked very well to hold them together. I'm also going to use that glue to attach a little round lemon medallion that was on a beaded garland from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to set that lemon right on the center. And I just thought this looks so cute because it's almost like they're raised from the sun around the lemon. So I'm going to add a little extra glue under each one to make sure that they sit nice and evenly on that lemon. Now I'm going to fill the hole that was there with some hot glue, smooth it down, and then I'm going to paint that white just to cover it up so it's not so noticeable. I mean, it's not that you can't see it, but it just makes it not very noticeable. I'm going to take a little piece of greenery, I'm going to attach it to the bottom of the lemon there, just because, as if it was growing on something. And then I'm going to take the fairy lights and I'm going to glue the fairy light the controller onto the back so that you can still open it and change the battery. And then I'm going to wrap the lights all the way around those clothespins. And just that way this can be illuminated. This would look so cute on a little tier tray or shelf. You could even hang it if you really wanted to. I just think it's adorable. I do love lemons. I don't have them in my kitchen, but my mom does, so she'll probably end up with this one. But I love adding fairy lights. They're so much fun. And I got mine on Amazon if you're interested. That is all there is to this one. Such an easy DIY hack. I love it. I love these little simple, easy ones, but they're still so cute. You will have to let me know what you think. And what would you do with this if you had one? Where would you put it in your house? Would you do a tier tray? Would you hang it? What would you do? I'm just curious. It would also be cute sitting in with your fruit. That would be really fun. Take 33 of the regular size clothespins And then I've got a wreath ring from the Dollar Tree, a small one, and 2 sets of napkins, one from the Dollar Tree. And then I've got some burlap. What we're going to do is we're going to take the burlap, we're going to wrap it around once on the wreath ring and hot glue it to itself. And then we will just start wrapping around, kind of overlapping until we get around the entire wreath ring. And like I said, this was a smaller one. I think they're like 6 or 8 inches. And then on the back, I'm just going to hot glue the end of it down and trim off any excess. Now I'm going to take one of those metal connectors and do the same thing I did before, thread some jute through the little squiggly parts, hot glue it directly to the back as our hanger. I'm going to trim a little bit of the jute because I had too much, but I will go ahead and hot glue that down. And then I will also hot glue down the remaining jute. That way it's nice and secure. And what a great way to have a hanger. One of my beautiful viewers suggested this. Actually, it was her husband's idea. So I love sharing those ideas. I'm going to take one of the napkins that I had. I'm going to take a little piece of tape and put it on the end. And when you do that, it's so easy to separate the plies. This is a 2-ply napkin. I think this one came from Pop Shelf and I got it when I was out of town. Unfortunately, we don't have one here. I'm going to cut away the part of the napkin that doesn't have a pattern. And then I'm just going to turn over the part that does have a pattern so I see the back side. I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue on the back of each of those clothespins until I have however many I want in this pattern I'm going to do. So because I've got 2 napkins, I'm going to have 2 different patterns on my napkins. So you can decide what number you want to do. Here's my other napkin, which is from the Dollar Tree, also a 2-ply, and I will separate it the same way and attach the clothespins exactly the same way. Once they dry, I'll turn it over and add another coat of Mod Podge to the top. When that dries, I'm going to cut away the excess paper and then cut between each clothespin so that I just have a clothespin with a little bit of napkin hanging over the edges. Once I got them all cut out, I'm going to take a little sanding sponge, or you could use a nail file, and in a downward motion, I'm going to go around and I'm just going to get a clean edge by going down on the sides and sanding off the excess, and it just leaves such a beautiful edge. I will show you. Look at that, perfectly clean. So I'm going to do that to all the rest of the clothespins. There they are. Now I've got my wreath all ready to start gluing them on. I'm going to start like a clock, and I'm going to pick one clothespin at 12 o'clock, one at 3, one at 6, and one at 9. It always makes it easier to even things out. Now, I'm not going to say that I always even them out perfectly even when I do this, but I'm just telling you it's a great tip to do it. So now I'm going to start working out whatever pattern I decide to do. So there they are. All 23 are on there right now. I attached tea bags. That's what I decided to do. You could put pictures, anything you want. What a fun idea for a wreath. Let me know if you'd like to try this one. Ready for more inspiration? Here's another video I think you'll really like. If you click on it, I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye.